Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, yesterday, Afghanistan had its election. And about 7 million of 12 million eligible voters showed up to cast their votes. A little bit over 7 million. They waited in long lines, in bad weather, and under the threat of death. See, the Taliban has vowed to do as much as possible to stop the election. And they did succeed in attacking a few voting areas, but they did not come close to stopping the election. Proudly and bravely, the Afghan people stood in line, not knowing if masked men with guns or suicide bombers would show up and try to kill them. And almost 75% of the Afghan people voted. Now here in the U.S. in 2012, 63% of eligible voters turned out. And in 2014, voter turnout is expected to be maybe in the low 40%. Even when the weather is great, turnout stays about the same. And really, that's a national disgrace. And people fought and died for our right to have a representative government. And yet millions of Americans just don't bother to exercise their most fundamental and precious right, the right to vote. No one's threatening to blow us up or shoot us, and yet we just don't show up. We sit home and watch TV, or go to a movie, or visit with friends, because it's just too much of a hassle to get out there and vote. What the fuck is wrong with us? We have this amazing gift bestowed on us by our forefathers, and yet we don't use it. And this is why we have the government that we do. Because the people do show up on election day are the most passionate. They might be completely misinformed and dumb as a post, but they are committed. And that's something everyone should admire and emulate. Because this is how the T-tards and the bungholes get into office. They get that base fired up with their lies and distortions, and they come out and they vote. And then the people they voted for go to Washington or their state capitals and screw over the people who voted for them. And the people who don't show up, especially in off-year elections, are the ones that have the most to lose. Young people who are being most injured by the gridlock that has kept the economy in a state of stagnation and anything from being done about the real problems that we have. Minorities who are being screwed over by the party of old white men. And the poor, who the GOP are trying to make sure get less and less and less all the time. Voting is our most fundamental right, and it's the only time we get to be equal. Yes, the Sheldon Adelsons and the Koch brothers may be able to dominate the airwaves and put all their commercials and fund their candidates, but they only get one vote. The same as the poorest guy in the country gets. Yesterday, the people of Afghanistan risked death to exercise their right to vote. The least we can do is deal with a little inconvenience. Thanks for listening.